Okay.
I'm glad I
Call the meeting to order. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Here.
Mr. Hoffman?
Here.
Mr. Needner? Mr. Paulus? Mrs. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Stevens?
Present.
Mr. White?
Here.
Mr. Wood?
Present. Okay, we'll have invocation by Sonny.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, again we pause to offer our thanks for all that you do for us. We're thankful for your presence in our lives. And we ask that you grant us your strength and wisdom and guidance, that we might know and understand the needs of our community and help us in our decisions to make this come true. Let your light shine through the darkness, Father, so that we may follow that and follow the path you have laid out for us. In your Son's dear name we pray. Amen.
All of you received the minutes. Is there any corrections or additions? If not, they'll stand as read. Old business. We don't have an audience unless Mr. Oakley wants to speak to us. So I can't open the meeting to the visitors. Reading of petition and other communications, I would ask the council, I have Mr. Tibbs is going to answer any questions you have for him, anything, and I had that in the changing of the back part of the agenda. But if you don't have any problems with him, he can come up with communications if you all would like to ask him any questions.
just want to say one thing. This week, the big thing for me is going to the Lake of the Ozarks for the Missouri Betterment Conference there for 2 days. So I hope to bring back some good ideas from that. Okay?
Thank you, TZ.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll start with finance.
Well, due to the lack of a quorum, we did not have a finance meeting. Shall we go ahead and send the warrants to full
Yeah.
council?
Yes, you can make a motion. You
Okay.
can read.
I'd like to make a motion that we send to full council payment of warrants 084 through 095 2013 in the amount of $325,306.18.
Making that a motion.
Make that a motion, yes.
I'll second that.
Second by Kathy. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there anything else for
I have
finance?
this. Okay, this is the monthly report to send to the Missouri Department of Natural Resources for payment on the direct loan to Klinger and Associates for $15,240.44. Lehman Construction, $506,347.97 for a total of $521,588.41.
I would make a motion that we pay this to Klinger and Lehman. I didn't get the amount, it was 500.
$521,588.41.
Okay. I make a motion that we pay those Klinger and Lehman that amount.
Second by Kathy. Call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Anything else for finance? I make a motion we adjourn. Well, we're not in.
All right.
We don't
I'll
do
second
that.
We can't do
We
it.
can't do that because we didn't adjourn.
Okay.
You didn't come to
All
order.
right. Second one on the fire committee. is Jim Woods.
Oh, Mr. Elliott made a motion to approve the minutes from the September meeting. Mr. Wood seconded the motion, all voting yea, motion carried. Jim Rubino stated that the haunted house will be in the old funeral home on 3rd Street and all the insurance is in order. Any questions? That's it.
Okay, thank
I
you.
put it in their box.
Police Committee.
Okay, we stated that Chief Hughes is working on a block grant, which would include lights, radios, in-car cameras, and other police equipment. That was to be submitted by the 15th. I think he has submitted that. We haven't heard any answer from it yet. We still are in need of a part-time dispatcher. And the MDT training was to begin in September for all the officers. Officer Lovelace has left the force as a full-time officer, but he is still on as an auxiliary officer. And we had wanted to expand the animal shelter at an approximate cost of $4,000, but that will be put in next year's budget and looked at then. That's all we have
Now,
done.
here's what you should have.
Oh, yeah, maybe I got the wrong one.
Yeah, I think you did.
Oh,
That's last
okay.
month.
Excuse
Oh,
me.
you gotta do it again?
Okay, yeah.
Make a quick second.
Yeah, okay. Well, we approved the minutes of the September meeting. We stated that there will be extra patrols during the high school homecoming and Color Fest. We have one new part-time dispatcher and currently still looking for another one. And we are looking for one full-time officer. The police department is also planning to have another prescription drug take-back probably sometime in the month of October. And the areas that were identified as problems to be marked as no parking areas have been painted. That's all we have time.
Okay, thank you.
Can I
How
get
come I
that?
didn't get that?
Streets and alleys.
All I have is, did you check with Mid River, see if they can do that dip out of
Yeah, I will, when they get here.
oh, you haven't checked with him yet?
No,
Oh.
Tim, I talked to Tim the other day. He said it shouldn't be a problem to take a look at.
And the drain through the sidewalk has been approved for Mr. Carter, right?
I don't see any problem with it,
Okay.
none whatsoever. He and I discussed it and what he was gonna do,
There you
and
go.
it should work out just fine.
And that's all I have. Anybody else have anything?
Thank you. Buildings and grounds.
I made a motion to approve the minutes from the September meeting. Mr. Elliott seconded the motion, all voting yea, motion carried. The East Street water tank repair should be done sometime this month. Mr. Jenny received a letter from SEMA concerning the town branch. They stated that if the city was to obtain easements from each property owner, that would not be sufficient. If another disaster arose to be eligible for grant monies for repair and/or cleanup, Mr. Rapp explained the process for the city to obtain deeds to the city branch from each owner. He also explained that the city branch's liability would increase drastically. The owner of 904 Allen Street was present and inquired about her property being repaired to its original state before the flood. There was discussion on the matter, and money will be allotted in the mid-year budget to do repairs to 904 Allen as well as some of the other areas.
Possibly.
A temporary fence had to be put up at Wallace Park, and the permanent fence should be up by November the 1st. The judge ruled that the 4 properties that belong to Ben Burst Jr. be cleaned up, and the cost will be added to his tax bill. This project will be put out for bids versus taking the street department away from their work. The pavers have been placed at the riverfront, and the LHPA would like to put more in. Mr. Elliott made a motion to bring to full council to allow the LHPA to put in more pavers at the riverfront. Mrs. Smith seconded the motion, all voting yea, motion carried. Mrs. Smith made a motion to allow LHPA to replace the trees at the riverfront. Mr. Elliott second, all voting yea, motion carried. Mr. Police, Paulus inquired about the fact citizens cannot volunteer at the animal shelter due to liability. He stated there's a person that volunteers in Troy and other places, and they sign a waiver. Mr. Rapp advised Sal to have this individual bring a copy of the waiver form from Troy. Mr. Jenny had bids for removal of trees at Sunset Park, Wallace Park, and dangerous limb removal around the playground at Wallace Park. The bids were as follows. J. Hurd tree removal, $5,350. Keith McClure, $2,900. And Carl Henderson, $3,250. Mrs. Smith made a motion to bring to full council to accept Keith McClure's bid. I second it, the motion carried. And that's all I have at this time.
You need 3 motions.
Yeah,
Okay, you want me to?
I'll make a motion that we accept Keith McClure's bid to take the trees down.
Second.
Motion made and second, call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
It's already been done, but yes.
Not all of it.
Not all, just,
It was under 3,000, so I gave him the go-ahead.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
And I make a motion to allow LHPA to replace the trees at the riverfront.
Second.
motion made and second, call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
I'm not sure I should vote on that because I am president of LHP.
Yeah, he has to.
Abstain.
Same.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
And I'll make a motion that we allow LHPA to put new,
Pavers.
yeah, the new pavers, more pavers. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. Motion made, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Sonny. Motion made and second, call the roll.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Abstain.
Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do, anything else?
Yeah, I'd like to know
me a
what we have
copy
on.
of those minutes in my box
All right.
tomorrow. I didn't get that for some reason.
He's got a question on the floor.
What was your question?
I just want to ask Bob where we're at on getting the dumpster.
I tried to get in touch with the people in the permit section again today, but they never returned my call. So I will get back in touch with them tomorrow and see what the process is.
Okay. That number you was looking for is 4606. That's what it costs you to go to the dump, if anything under a ton.
Okay.
That's how many dollars?
If an individual takes something out to the landfill, that's a cost for it?
You walk across them scales with a bag in your hand, you're gonna
Yeah.
pay 4606.
Yeah,
If it weighs a
if it's
ton,
under a ton. Yeah.
We're having cleanup.
Next week,
That's what I was gonna mention.
Yeah.
yeah. Dave, next week is citywide cleanup where Walmsley, whatever an individual's regular regularly scheduled pickup day is, they can put out that extra item and they will pick it up.
Does it have to be in a bag?
No.
Couch or anything.
No, it could be a couch, anything of that nature.
Yeah, whatever.
Refrigerators,
Large,
whole deal?
large items.
Right.
How many bags, no limit on it?
Any large item,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, I just want to get this straight. Okay, I've got another question. I like this blue letter here. Where is that drop off going to be? Anybody know?
It's not gonna be a drop, if you call her out to, this is from Vanessa,
Well, no, the letter says we have a convenient place for drop off. It just don't say where it's at.
out there at the church.
Right next to Hart,
Yeah,
used
Yeah.
to belong to Dr. Collins. I think they're putting a garden in out front.
their organic garden, yeah.
So I can drop my leaves off there?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
or they'll come and get them. She told me they'd come and get them.
Yeah.
So,
That's just across the fence, so.
yeah.
Even if they're laying in your yard.
Well, they didn't say they'd break them up. They just said they'd come and get them.
Dave, and I'll give you a copy of
I
this.
do like this.
Vanessa
Yeah.
Thomas and her husband
Here, I
have
give her
offered to.
They brought it in today.
Okay,
We have a story already.
good deal.
That's all.
Okay, the only other thing I have is what Dorothy Penrod has got a lot of people to donate money, $127 and a little change for the barrel covers on the riverfront, the containers. They are taking off the pattern of the ones downtown, and Dorothy has the name of the people that have donated to do that. We have 8 of them in place now at the riverfront. We're gonna pick up 5 of them tomorrow, and then she's ordering another 8, and she'd like to have them put up in the parks.
I don't see any problem with that.
You know, they really look nice, a lot better than the blue barrels. When I first got the call, I thought she was gonna ask me to go paint the barrels.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But I really like it.
Very good.
No, Rob Green took that initiative on his own and he painted them to hopefully keep them around and intact for a little while longer.
Okay.
I noticed we have a question about Ben Burris's property. I talked to Mr. Adams this morning. Anything we should know?
To try to defray the cost, I met with all the probation officers. They have a lot of people that owe the court's community service. The problem is to enforcing that and making them work. They said they probably cannot supply a workforce. So we'll just go through the process, putting it up for bid and see what we get out of that.
Anything else, sir?
Well, there was the trailer issue.
I called Mr. Rapp this morning and there's a couple campers, a mobile home, and a pickup truck on one of the properties. I contacted Mr. Rapp and want to know about putting those specific items up for bid for a scrap or something if somebody wanted to come in. And what he explained was we need a written court order that says told the city from the judge to clean the property up. He ordered it, but I don't have anything in writing. And Nikki was gone today, so.
Before you make
Yeah.
any step, you gotta have that court order in
Right,
hand.
so I'll get something in writing tomorrow for the court order and make sure it's suitable with you, and then we'll put bids in the paper for the labor cleanup and then maybe for these big items, separate bid for the big items.
Yeah, the problem with the big items like trailers, we can't transfer title because I'm sure the ordinance and the order doesn't say you can take this, sell it, and defray the cost. But if Mr. Burris agrees, if he's got a title to him, and if he agrees,
That's doubtful, but
That ain't gonna happen.
can I ask council
well,
one
it'll save
question?
him some money in the long run.
In the council's opinion, or your all's opinion, is it, you think we should put up 2 separate bids for picking up all the small trash and loading the dumpsters, or combine them both to make it
I think when you start picking and choosing, you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, I
You
think
got a
this
court order,
To clean
get
the
the court order to clean it,
one be
and
done.
don't segregate anything, just clean it.
clean sweep and it all goes.
Yeah.
It all goes.
Get it all, so.
Get it all.
Yeah,
All right.
anything that might incur a situation like Robert had brought up, I would say would go to the impound area. Anything else goes in a dumpster.
So you want these,
You bid it all the same way, but in the bid specifications, I think we'd be best off putting that in impound until,
one of them is an entire mobile home.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but we've got space for it.
Yeah, I think the first thing you need to do is see what the court order says.
You
If
need
the
it
court
right
order
in the
says
language.
clean the property, and you might remind the judge that there's a trailer on there. If he says clean it, go with the court order.
And make sure he's aware of the dimensions of it.
Okay. Thank you.
There was I also noticed there was an RV on that property.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
There's an RV, there's a small pop-up trailer. Right now, there is a pickup truck on one of them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So get your court order and have him specify.
That's all I have.
Okay. Water Committee.
Okay, the first thing it's a small thing, but I didn't have a concern about losing that water when he was flushing the hydrant. I was just explaining that's what it was. There was no concern. So, I understand you're pressured up the way.
No. They'll put pressure to some of the piping and that next week.
If it don't get too cold, I might, sometime when you got a few minutes, I might have you walk me through that.
Oh, not a problem. Probably the best person to do it will be Brent Friesmeyer, who is the engineer from Klinger. Brent can walk you through it and explain it much better than I can.
Okay, very good. I don't have anything else, but somebody else
Okay. Grant Committee, Kathy.
We approved the minutes from the September meeting. Got a report from Mr. Powers. He's doing research on CBDG grants, and Mr. Jenny stated that the Department of Natural Resources is currently offering new grants, and you're working on it.
Yep, I met with Max Middendorf last week, and we were kind of facing a deadline because it was November 1st, but they've now extended it to November 29th, so we're in good shape.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Kathy. Ordinance Committee.
The ordinance committee met and the minutes were approved by the unanimous vote. A draft ordinance has been completed for the removal of dangerous trees. We talked about that before, and Mr. Rapp has penned one for us, and I think it's with Sharon for us. I brought a motion to bring to full council a discussion of whether we would be interested in having an ordinance written to allow chickens, seconded, and so on. And I would like to know whether we would like to.
No.
Okay, well, remember that this committee has made, this council is made up of people who have never lived on farms.
That's absolutely right. You want chickens. You've
Yes.
not lived on a farm, I guarantee you.
Right. Well,
If God ever made a nastier animal, I don't know what it'd be.
but that is your opinion.
No,
a lot of
that's-
people have
that's
different opinions.
experience.
I grew up on a farm. In fact, I earned my way through college by raising chickens. And I found chickens very reasonable to work with. Unlike people who have lived in town.
Why do people want to come to town to farm?
That's, okay,
Go to the country and farm.
what I'm getting at is towns like Hannibal, St. Louis, San Francisco, New York have all allowed chickens. And I would like to, you haven't seen what the ordinances have been to raise chickens in other towns. And they're very, very stringent.
This is mostly for people that want to have fresh eggs for
That's
themselves
correct.
and it's not.
Yes. When you buy a dozen eggs at a grocery store, those eggs are usually about a month old. And right now, we have a major problem with salmonella. Those eggs carry salmonella. If you raise your own chickens, you are making sure that your chickens are clean and not
And you're gonna grow salmonella.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Well, the ordinances, you read it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, I did,
and I
and then I
think
did some internet research on diseases that could be transferred if you get an infected chicken.
That's correct.
And they're not very nice at all.
No disease is nice.
No, I would agree with you, yeah.
So I don't,
Well, you got a copy of the ordinance and you give it to Sharon. Let Sharon pass the ordinance out and let the council.
No, and what I'll do is forward it to Robert,
Yeah.
let Robert review it,
Yeah, let him.
and
review.
see if he has
I
any considerations that need to be looked at.
give it to him right now.
I don't even want to touch it.
Okay, this copy is for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Chuck.
And the meeting is adjourned.
Okay, thank you.
Chicken man.
Special committees, you have anything, Bob?
No, sir.
We've already, everybody else is gone. Human Relations, Board of Adjustment, Economic. Any new business?
I think Mrs. Helge, she planned on being here during the visitor section.
Okay.
So if you wouldn't mind. giving
Yes.
us some-
Oh, did I miss out like for?
We started early. So
Okay. Okay.
it wasn't your fault.
It's the St. Louis Cardinals' fault.
Yeah.
Well, I'm down with that. Okay, so I'm Lori Helke, for any of you guys who don't know me, and I have come to kind of speak with you all about a new program that we're going to be offering through the Twin Pike Family YMCA, and it is a mentoring program for youth ages 6 to 17. I am the program director, and I will be actively recruiting adult mentors from the community. Kind of why I wanted to come here and talk with you all is that you all are leaders in our community, and you all see firsthand what is happening with a lot of our young people. A lot of juvenile delinquency, a lot of kids just not doing well whatsoever. So this program is being implemented to try and reach some of these kids and get through to them. But it's going to depend upon us having adults who are willing to make a commitment to be matched with a child for at least 1 year. And then it would require you meeting with that child 1 to 3 hours per week. Can be at the Twin Pike Family YMCA, where you would be able to use the facility for free at no charge. And so I kind of wanted to give you all the information, maybe let you pass it around, and give you all, open up the floor to see if you all have any questions for me right now.
I think we'd be better off looking at it
Yes,
first
I
and
have-
then,
yeah.
and
I
then
have
getting
some-
back with you perhaps next
Yeah,
month,
I
Lori.
have some information for you. But essentially, we have been selected as the only grant recipient in the whole state of Missouri. And we're the only entity that received the grant that is rural communities.
Good.
We will be working with youth in the Twin Pike County, so over in Illinois and also in Missouri. And we'll be looking for, support from the community. And if I could at all possible, maybe if you could get them to Kathy or maybe to Jimmy, and get me a list of your all's email addresses, and then I can actually email you all information on the program, applications. And this way, if you are asked about it, or you know anybody who might be interested, then possibly you can give them the information, or give them my information to be able to contact me.
We have city email addresses, I have them all.
Okay.
I can just give you those.
Oh, that'll work. Okay. And I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Ask me later.
Will they have to do a background check on these
I'm sure there's gotta be some
Yeah.
scripts on
Yeah, at least they'll get it.
on who the mentors are.
Highway patrol record.
Yeah. And obviously, we don't want to set up on
Okay. Media clarification.
keep them.
No, there's only 4 there. We need to pass this.
Okay. That's,
Was there anybody else in the audience that had something to?
all right. Go ahead and,
Dave?
under new business, we use policy board.
What is a paver?
That's those stones that have been etched with an individual's name that are down at the riverfront
Oh,
in memory of so-and-so and
oh, okay. Okay.
Also,
LHPA, is that Historic Preservation
Association.
yeah,
Association?
Louisiana Historic Preservation Association.
Okay. And on the pickup, did you say that would be next week?
That would be next week on whatever their normally scheduled pickup day is. They need to place those items out curbside for pickup.
And those items can be as large as a couch?
Couch, refrigerator, whatever.
Limited to 3. Sometimes you're limited to 3 large items.
That's
They-
the norm.
They would know it.
Yeah, I believe that is correct.
Get that for sure.
And I'll double check with Christina and Lori tomorrow.
Will that be in the paper this coming?
Yeah, I'll get a hold of Dave first thing in the morning to
She said
verify
it
that.
would. Christina said it'd be in the paper.
That's all I have.
okay, under, this passed under new business, the employee handbook, we need to, take care of the one thing that changed. Only one thing changed, and that was on your, police officers serving on,
Military leave.
military leave. I'd entertain a motion that we approve the change.
I'll make a motion that we
Larry
approve
made
the
the
change.
second,
Oh, I'll-
okay, you second it?
Yeah.
Motion made and second, call the roll.
Mr. Elliott? Mr. Hoffman? Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Wood?
Yes. I'll entertain a
Make
motion.
a motion, we adjourn.
I second that.
Second, which second you want me to get?
Either one, doesn't matter.
Motion made and
Is that a
second,
record?
call the roll.
Mr. Elliott? Mr. Hoffman? Mrs. Smith? Mr. Stevens?
Yay.
Mr. White?
Don't you ever say anything about it.
Mr. Wood?
Win, maybe.
I didn't hear a yes. There you go. I don't know why. I'm sure she put them in there, but
Well, I would have thought so too, but I looked through all of my stuff and I didn't have
Jennifer
it.
Asquith in the
The rest of the
Bobcat.
time,
I don't know who it is. It's TC's wife or something. Yeah.
All they have to do is give the action of the committee meetings, and I'll read everything.
Half an hour.
What I want to do.
You need to train them.
what I want to we're gonna have guys
all day
want to
Did you tell Bart not to come?
He's subject to migraine. He had one come in and ended up. Yeah,